when Vata dosha is high, like it's been this past couple days here in Portland, Oregon, one thing that's really helpful is to stay more grounded and also to stay warmer. So we have a chance to do some yoga poses that help to bring us closer to the ground, and also they can be a little bit warming. And in terms of warming, I mean like your circulation from the inside is warming you up. Of course, make your room temperature comfortable. But I'm not talking about going to hot yoga. There's a reason that hot yoga is not recommended based on Ayurveda and also on yoga itself. We want to be able to heat ourselves from the inside using the fire in the body, because we do have 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and ether. We want to use the fire element to heat from the inside. So take a wide stance like this. Let's do a little warm up. Inhale, raise your arms up. And then exhale, come forward and down. Okay, root down into your heels and toes. Then inhale, lift your torso and the base of your skull. And then exhale and bow towards the legs, and make it kind of a complete exhale by squeezing the lower belly. And then really smoothly inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Keep your leg muscles strong, including the hamstrings. They're not just stretching, they're also strengthening. Now let's take the left heel and turn it slightly out, and turn your right foot directly out. Place your hands on your hips. This is the lower hemisphere of Warrior Two pose. So when you exhale, bend your right knee and come into Warrior Two. Okay, so the right leg points to the right. You want to line your knee up with your toes. The hips are not going to be like 180 on some invisible balance beam that we're standing on. The hips are going to face the angle that your pelvis needs them to. In my case, that's something like this. We don't need to have this thigh parallel to the floor, but we can be down a little ways and kind of grounded. Press into your feet. Press your hands down against your hips. And turn your gaze to your right. And as you inhale, sweep your arms wide just to shoulder height. In this warrior pose, we're going to build some strength, like a root system, how trees have. So from your pelvis, press into your heels and your toes and energize the muscles of your legs. We're also generating some warmth in the body by using these major muscles and asking for circulation to move through. Let's see if we can also be mentally grounded. And keeping your right knee lined up with your right toes. As you exhale, press into your right heel and straighten your right leg. And then make the right foot parallel. Now turn the left foot out and turn the right heel just slightly back. Right? So that's telling your pelvis that you're going to come down to your left. The angle of the back foot kind of informs your hips that you're coming this way. And as you come down, this knee does not need to be parallel, but might be. But I would like your knee to be vertical to your heel. And you may also be sensing that we're stretching the inner thighs on both legs. Not just a warming, grounding practice, but also develops flexibility. Take the arms wide. Gaze to your left. And try keeping your gaze steady. So you're asking the mind to be more still also. And breathe smoothly in and smoothly out through the nose. Sometimes this sort of pose can be done when you know you're practicing kind of standing your ground, or like keeping yourself rooted or remaining strong. Or maybe you feel like you've gotten dysregulated somewhere and you have to make a decision. You want to bring yourself into your warrior, into a place of strength, and a place where you could make better decisions from. And when you next exhale, press into your left heel, join your palms together and straighten your left leg. And then let's make the feet parallel. And what you're going to notice now when we go back down to the forward bend is you're probably a little more limber. So come down to this forward bend, and this time walk your hands forward. Certainly you can put blocks under your hands if you need to. Now, as you press into your leg muscles and your heels and toes get more grounded, enjoy a deep inhale. And exhale thoughtfully. And now walk both hands to your right. So we're going to do a little side bending here. And in the side bend, press your left hip back towards the wall behind you. You might really enjoy the opening on the left side of the waist. But one thing we're looking for in side bending is that you're also giving a little squeeze to the right lower belly. That is where the ascending colon is. You're massaging one of the pathways of digestion. Really, it's a pathway of elimination, so we'll name it as such. Okay, and let's walk to center and then walk over to the other side. It'll be on your left, and stretch the right hand out. So of course you might enjoy the sensations of the right side torso, but also focus on the fact that you're squeezing the left lower belly and now the descending colon. And then walk yourself back to center. Place your hands on your hips and so inner sense of a mountain of stability, groundedness. Mountains are also generally tranquil. They have their own perspective from a high peak. So let yourself feel into the essence of mountain. And now we're going to combine a couple yoga poses to stretch the inner thighs more, to give you a greater sense of inhabiting your pelvis. So take a wide stance. We're going to keep the feet parallel to start. Let's come down, touch your fingertips to the floor, and then turn just your right foot out to the side. And you're going to bend the right knee, just like you did in Warrior Two, and take your right hand up against your right knee and press your knee open. So the torso is going to stay kind of forward facing. And that means that when you press into your right hand and your right knee, you might actually feel the right side torso also stretching. So right inner thigh, right hamstring, right side waist, maybe the right lower back too. So allow the breath to come down into the lower belly. You're working on nourishing yourself and your nervous system to feel more grounded. So don't rush the breath. Keep it really smooth and very kind. And then inhale, raise up to center and turn your right foot in. Place your right fingertips on the floor. Turn the left foot out. Bend your left knee and take the left hand up against your left knee to press against. And as you're pressing, lengthen the inner left thigh. And you might notice your left side waist or lower back as well. You may also find that you have differences left to right, and it's common to have a preference for the easier or more flexible side. But try to come to your experiences without preference while you're practicing yoga, especially. It'll help the mind to be quieter. So we'll come back to center. Make your feet parallel, please. And then one more time, place your hands on your hips and rise up to standing. And let's go heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, back to center. Now we're going to come down to sit, and that's going to seem unusual because you were just doing standing poses, but come down to your seat. We're talking about how can we bring the Vata dosha back home, right? What's going to be helpful to that? So come to a cross-legged seat for just a moment. We were in standing mode. So notice what happens when you condense the way your body is in space. What happens here? And now take the left leg straight out on the floor. It's called Dandasana, like this. And bring your right knee up to your chest. And you do want to have the thigh and the torso touching. Wrap your left hand around your right shin and swoosh your belly to the right. And place your right hand behind you for a twist to the right. And we do want this compression of the abdomen and the thigh together, right? Now, it might seem harder to breathe into the abdomen when you have this compression. So encourage the breath to go into the sides of the waist, the back of the waist. But for sure, I want you to have a sense that you're welcoming the breath. Your body is welcoming the breath. Now we're going to exhale, come around to face forward. Let's change sides. So you were squeezing the ascending colon. Now it's going to be the descending colon. So bring the left knee up. Wrap your right hand across your knee. Left hand behind. Twist to your left. Keep the pressure of the abdomen and the torso touching. And encourage the breath to be smooth and kind. Sometimes you'll notice during yoga practice, like you're practicing, and why is the mind going where it's going? Why are the eyes moving around? So if you actually bring your gaze inward and downward, sometimes that'll help you to keep your mind inward and downward too. I'll come around to face forward. Cross your ankles and take a seat again, noticing what happens, what is the echo of that practice for you? Now, sometimes we start moving the body, we got warmer, more grounded, then we had like a little squeeze, a little wringing out right there, and you might realize, oh, like I'm deeply tired. I had this happen with yoga students on a regular basis, that they didn't know how tired they were until they did a little bit of yoga. So now we're going to have a resting period. We call it savasana. And for shavasana, I'm going to ask you to cover up and to be warm. So what I'd recommend is that you take, for example, a blanket, and let's put a bolster under the knees. I happen to have a bolster here because I'm sitting on one. And then set yourself up so you're going to be warm enough. And now sometimes people feel like, oh, I don't have time to rest. How am I going to rest? I have so much to do. So we're going to rest, and I'll tell you when it's been 6 minutes. Okay? And if you don't have 6 minutes to gift yourself with getting still and feeling nourished, then I want you to recalibrate your life. Okay? And the other thing is, I was talking before about how Vata dosha, we might have sleeplessness sometimes with Vata dosha, and we have to look at how the whole cycle of the day is, not just how the nighttime cycle is. So if we take 6 minutes to rest and integrate right now, your nervous system gets a new baseline. Of course, we can have 10 minutes or 20 minutes of resting too, but I'm trying to lure some of you into not getting up during Shavasana, thinking that it's too long to wait. So close your eyes. Imagine that your body is going to get a recalibration of the nervous system. And that recalibration is going to be able to go with you during the day. Keep your gaze inward and downward, the eyes not moving about. Relax the corners of your eyes, the place between your eyebrows. And release the hinge of your jaw, the muscle of your tongue. Allow your shoulders to be relaxed against the floor. Encourage your heart to be at ease right now. Release any unnecessary tension at the solar plexus or the stomach. And release the organs in the abdomen so they're going to be more at ease. And allow your hips and your pelvis to relax into the ground beneath you. Relax the muscles of the thighs, the strong muscles of your legs, and encourage your knees to be comfortably relaxed. And soften your calves. Release your heels and toes. And towards whatever you're noticing, again, without preference, without wanting things to be different. Rest for just about 1 more minute, and that'll be 6 minutes. And of course, you can rest longer. You're not limited to 6 minutes. Just allow your body to go a little more deeply into rest right now. You are worth the time it takes to do this nourishment. The health of your mind and your body are invaluable. Giving yourself this priority is a very important message to yourself. And so that was a 6-minute Shavasana. And again, you're welcome to continue resting. You're also welcome to wiggle your fingers and toes and make your transition slowly to come back up to a seat. And when you find yourself in your seat, let's give a few moments to acknowledge that there is a change of tempo or the feeling tone in your body or your mind. Listen for what that is. Raise your hands to your heart. Thank you for sharing this part of the practice. May your Vata dosha feel grounded, contented, stable. Namaste. Now, if these practices are helpful to you, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click like for the videos that help you, so I'll get that feedback, and leave comments or questions down below as well. Thank you once again.